And there we go. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Eclipse evening. I'm just going to throw the Zoom link into the Facebook chat in case anybody wants to hop on over to Zoom instead of Facebook. I'm going to try and keep my eye on the comments. Ah, it's so great to be here. Friday night was the plan, had it all set up, and my daughter's games ended up taking precedence, as well as earlier this evening and getting my husband to the airport and getting everybody where they needed to go. But I am going with just kind of doing this spontaneously. I didn't actually advertise this to many people. So this will be available on replay, and I will be sending it out to those who want to experience what we are going to be doing this evening. It's funny because it's such an intense moon, an intense new moon, an intense time with this eclipse and everything. I was almost afraid to put it out to the public just because in the past we've had Zoom bombings and all sorts of weird stuff go on full moons. And I was like, well, if anything weird's going to happen, it'd be tonight. So I'm kind of keeping it low key to just our little group. So I'm hoping that if you can end up getting this meditation and this webinar in pre-eclipse, which is tomorrow afternoon, that it will be helpful for you. But this will also be helpful kind of going into the next week or two as well, because it is going to be, this eclipse just isn't the moment of time tomorrow when the sun does the full, when the moon and the sun do the full eclipse. It's sort of about setting us up for the next year and a half, really. So I'm gonna just get grounded with my oil and get set up here because I was running right until 5 minutes ago and kind of slid in here, and I'm so ready for this. So I've been really looking forward to it all day. So thank you for being here. And so what our focus for this evening is, what our intention for this evening is to talk a little bit about this eclipse energy. And I'm sure everybody's been kind of feeling it. And in saying it, it's like it's a little bit different for everybody. And some people can't quite put their finger on it, but they're feeling it. They're feeling the intensity. They're feeling this shift, this change happening. And if I was to just kind of get grounded and slow it down and give it, this one really big message for what's happening right now, it's all about what we are creating. And what keeps rolling through my head is the past is the past. It's like we get to walk into this new life room. We get to walk into this new chapter. This is the individuation process in the hero's journey. This is a major part of the hero's journey that we are on. And we're not just, reading someone else's story and seeing the hero's journey. We're actually in it. We're a part of it. We're feeling it. We are most of us are going through some major transitional changes. And this whole season, this whole eclipse portal is all about the future and the seeds that we're planting. And it really came to me today, just in driving and just, sort of being in that unconscious state when you're driving. What was really coming up for me was this whole garden planting type of metaphor. Because when we think about planting a garden, for me, I've done it for so many years, and there's so many ways that I could do it better, and so many ways that I could integrate what I know and actually do to create such a bountiful and plentiful harvest this year. And to be able to actually nurture the plants, the seeds that I'm planting, and not sort of as in the past would have kind of sort of just gotten the seeds on in the nick of time before they sort of run out of growing period season. Maybe not planting the right plants next to each other, maybe not getting the seeds in time, and sort of knowing that celery seeds are really hard to find. So that's something that I've been looking for months, maybe not necessarily going to the right places, really kind of taking all this information that I know and then doing something different with it this year, not sticking to the same patterns, the same choices, the same things we've always done. This is like a new opportunity to kind of do do it right, do it with the information that we know, do it from a place of intention and being ready for it. And it's so beautiful because right up until now, I mean, this whole last couple months has been all about balancing that masculine and feminine energy so that one isn't overtaking the other, kind of creating some balance. And what eclipses really do is they knock us back into alignment if we can surrender the control, if we can surrender enough to allow what we really want in to come in. It can be this profound shift. It can be this new chapter. Welcome, Heather. So awesome to see you. I'm just kind of talking about what the eclipse really is. It's this opportunity to kind of say the past is the past. Literally say, up until now, I did this, but moving forward, I'm doing this. And it's like this eclipse in particular with this new moon in Aries, like it's just like, whoa, okay, like Aries is the beginning of the astrological signs. It's the new beginning. It's like we're so happy to have you here. It's like this story, this book that's being written, and we get to actually write it. We get to actually project the way that it's going to go because we're consciously setting this intention. We know that this eclipse energy is kind of like this reset point to get into this new room, to allow what wasn't in balance to move, to shift, to be let go. What wasn't in balance to actually come in. And when we're trying so hard to control things, that masculine energy, when we're trying so hard to do all the things and keep up to the Joneses and keep up to our expectations that we've had of ourselves lately, especially the expectations we have of others, and we can choose to let a little bit of that go and know that the universe has this plan for us, right? Like there's this greater this plan is here. It's ready to be sort of planted. Now, are we going to let it, or are we going to kind of get busy with our lives and continue making the same choices from the same patterns that were keeping us safe, that we were hanging on to for whatever reason, right? This is a real opportunity to look at this new path that we're ready to go down. This is really kind of like the seeds to be planted for the next year and a half. This particular eclipse, because of the actual sort of trajectory that it's on, it touches most of us in this North American continent. So, we see like Mexico, North America, Canada, like everything sort of in its trajectory is going to feel, they're going to be feeling this intensity going on, but a lot of people don't understand. And so you've probably noticed around a lot on Facebook. I don't think it's just my feed. I think it's, and in talking to people, there's a lot of emotion, right? So for some people, they're feeling, if they were a little bit depressed, they're feeling very depressed. If they were a little bit confused, they're feeling very confused. If they're feeling a little bit uneasy, they're feeling very uneasy, right? Like these emotions are very intense. And so this is the beautiful thing about doing this work is that just for the fact that you're here shows that you're sort of onto that higher vibration. You're understanding how this works. You're understanding that if we can just, sort of slow down, take a beat, um, look at what it is that we're planting, that we can actually start manifesting what we want rather than things manifesting sort of unwillingly or without our want in that way per se, right? Our beliefs, our energy, what we're putting out there is going to just literally seek out more of it and bring it back to you. So in knowing this, it's like this week, this tomorrow, this sort of whole month coming up is an opportunity to not only step into this new life room, but then to allow ourselves to be able to parent ourselves enough to stay there. It's like things that didn't work in the past, those things are being shown to us for a lot of us in ways that aren't really easy to see. And that's again why if you're depressed or having a really hard time and you're seeing more of that, it can be really, really tumultuous and really, really difficult right now, where others are finding it actually, it's been nice working with some of my clients. They're like, actually, you know what, I'm doing really good. I'm just seeing this as even more insight, and I'm learning from this, and I'm learning from this, and it's like it's so beautiful. This is when we're kind of on that right path, when things aren't really out of balance. But this eclipse is going to allow what's supposed to be that the divine plan to be able to come in a little bit easier. So it might feel a little bit crazy when it's knocking stuff out of our life that we've hung on to for a really long time. So it's almost like being able to see these things makes it a lot easier to be able to keep our intentions where we really want them to. And not only that, but we're really being astrologically supported right now to make these choices, to kind of allow the body, mind, and soul to sort of all come together. And the body is kind of catching up to the soul right now. The body is kind of like going on this soul's journey. And so I want us to, in our meditation tonight, be able to allow our bodies, our minds, and our souls to sort of literally come into alignment, just like the earth, sun, and moon, right? They're all in this Aries energy. And then we've got Mercury in Aries too, in retrograde right now. So a lot of this is coming at us through communication. And so if we're feeling a little bit triggered by something, if something is setting us off, or if we're feeling a little bit um, um, sort of judged or whatever it is, this gives us a really good opportunity to not react right away from old past patterns, but to actually look at the truth about a situation. Is this something I need to see? Is this something that I always do in the past? Because boy, I've been asking what's holding me back. And if this is coming up right now, maybe this is something that holds me back a little bit. But not only that, with relationships and things like that right now, I feel like there's going to be lots of really deep healing because we also have Chiron right beside the moon in Aries too, right? Like it's all new beginnings, it's all fresh starts, and it's all about this wounded healer, deep, deep stuff, the stuff that, maybe even we thought that we had already dealt with or felt like we had probably already dealt with is going to sort of be resurfacing in ways that are only for the greater good. They're only here to show us exactly what it is that we need to know, because we really are asking to help us to see those things that have been getting in our way, and to see those things that have been stopping us from growing, those weeds in the garden that will impede the seeds from growing. So what can we do to sort of have that fresh start? Maybe you need a whole different style of gardening. I saw the other day someone put a whole bunch of mulch down instead of having bare earth, and they were saying they're getting so much more harvest because they can spend more time on the plants because they're not just weeding all the time. And if you're away from it for 2 or 3 weeks, it's not going to get overtaken with weeds, because bare earth, the universe doesn't like bare earth, so it tries to cover it with seeds, and it's trying to do its job. And so if we know that, we can work with it in different ways. So what kind of healthy boundaries can you lay down for yourself in the next few weeks to be able to really allow yourself to go forward in this new life room, right? So we're going to do a nice meditation that's just going to allow us to go into that surrendering type of a feeling. We're almost going to do a land of plenty type meditation where we're actually traveling between that space of the sun and the moon and the earth, and just allowing that that takeover to become that union of our body, mind, and soul, and really let them all get on the same page, and really set our intentions for what it is that we're bringing in, leaving the past behind, letting all of that go, letting all of that just sort of dissolve. Because truly, this is one of the things we know, it's our choice, right? I I tend not to try and talk about personal stuff too much, but I found it really interesting with my two daughters. They always really get along, and this week they found themselves fighting, and they're both, generally really happy girls. And this, you could tell, like, it was really feeling awful, and it was kind of cool to be able to talk to them in a way that um I was able to sort of take them, just get them to take a step back and go, okay, this doesn't feel good. So it's not feeling good because this kind of friction between two sisters it's not helping either their souls grow. It doesn't feel good. It's contractionary. It's could be solved very easily by both of them stepping back into kindness, and letting the past stay the past and moving forward. And I couldn't help but thinking about some of my beautiful clients, with our families and stuff. We have these, sometimes some family issues. It's like the only way to really move forward is to leave the past in the past, and to choose this new life room, to choose this new way, to choose to, this new relationship. And you choose it, you act upon it. If it's not reciprocated, that, the universe is not going to let it take over. It never gives us more than we can handle, they say. But sometimes that's just letting go of that past and really just deciding where we want to be moving forward can be so powerful. And this time of with the eclipses, my body's releasing now, just saying all this time with these eclipses, with everything that's been going on, with everything that's sort of in the place that it is right now, it is the perfect opportunity to write a new story, to literally be completely astrologically supported to make these choices. And it's almost like it brings me back to a time or a place where it was like, I remember saying that was the easiest thing I ever did. Like, I'm struggling with something right now. And, I made some changes before, and it was just like, I remember saying, that was so easy. Why didn't I do this a long time ago? Like, I thought it was going to be way harder than it is. And, you sort of go back and forth, back and forth. This is an opportunity to kind of get out of that oscillating structure and really into that moving forward structure by literally allowing that past, surrendering to this new life room, to this new choice, to this following through. This eclipse energy likes to balance out that, I think I said on Wednesday, walk your you know walk your talk. The eclipse energy is going to bring that into balance more, so that you are walking your talk, so that you are actually doing what you would tell everybody else to do for themselves, right? So think about even making that plan. If you were being a friend, if you were parenting your inner child, what kind of plan? You know it all. You could probably tell anyone exactly what I'm telling you right now, or what they should do to be able to take care of themselves, to be able to stay grounded, because that's one big thing that we've been sort of going over a lot lately is the nervous system, right? If your nervous system isn't balanced, if you're in fight or flight for too long, right? Your nervous system needs that reset to actually go into rest or digest, to be able to actually digest information, digest food, to actually allow your body to function like it's supposed to. This is that sort of um, key, right? If your nervous system is not calibrated, it's going to be really hard to make these changes and these shifts. So a lot of the learnings have been coming up as to what can I do to actually really shift my nervous system back into the way that it's supposed to be. And that's where I start always talking about the little things like the meditation, the grounding, all of these ways, the humming, the reset your nervous system, reset your vagus nerve, reset your whole lymphatic system, your whole hormonal system, your whole genetic DNA, by just allowing the brain to do this work that it's completely supported to do this week. So it's almost like this window of opportunity. A lot of people say after the eclipse is finished that door is closed, but really it does last for another week. So the interesting thing about it being it's always a new moon with a lunar or with a solar eclipse, but the interesting thing about it being in a super new moon in Aries is that it's really all about new beginnings again. And if you guys go in your astrological chart and look where Aries falls for you, in which house, right? It'll give you even more information for a person that it's in your number one house, right? It's going to be more about close family, security, things like this. Whereas if it's in, I'm not going to go through all the houses, but if you can look at your chart and see where Aries is, it's going to give you an indicator of where it's going to be most strongly affected for you. If you have Aries as your sun, moon, or rising sign, it's also going to be a little bit more intense for you, and that will sort of prevail into the next year and a half too. It's not even just this eclipse itself. It's you'll Libras as well, because of the lunar eclipse that just happened. But Libras and Aries are going to be really feeling these shifts. They're going to be probably going through a little bit more than a lot of others are. Your natal Chiron is 22 Aries, so you're definitely feeling this. And with Chiron in there too, it's like um, extra past stuff, extra uh just it's extra. It's yeah, like deep healing, deep healing. But I feel like we were prepared for this in a way, like it's good. This healing is coming up because it needs to, because you have such gifts to bring into this world. And it's almost like those are, those extra special people that need this growth more than anybody, because it's going to affect so many people around them because of the person that you are, like you're meant for big things, Sunshine, meant for really big things. It's very cool. So know that this, you may, just sort of feel a little bit like you almost have to like stop the world from spinning for a moment. And this is where we need to set up these healthy boundaries, to be able to take the time to go inside, to be able um, to take that time to ground yourself, to be able to get out for a little walk in nature, get out and walk in the soil, and because we know that just feels so good. But now it's like it's time to actually do it. Like all the relaxing things we would tell people in a message to do for themselves right now, we need to sort of make that plan and take that time for ourselves. So this week is amping up to be a bit of an intense one. Not only do we have Mercury retrograde from April 1st till about April 25th or so, kind of stirring the pot a little bit for things communication wise, where things can get misconstrued a little bit. You may send a message off really quickly and someone might take it as cold or might take it the wrong way. So, just reread your texts before you send them out, reread your emails, make sure if you're signing a contract that you have a look at it. A lot of people actually even wait to sign contracts and stuff like that until Mercury retrograde is done. And so as much as this eclipse is like, okay, new room, let's go, let's make the plan, let's follow it. We're planting the seeds, we're getting the fertilizer, we still have to kind of wait for the weather to make sure. Like I wanted to go plant herbs today, and I'm like, yeah, we also had a snowstorm like 5 days ago. Well, even though the snow's already melted today, it's going to be it's I live in the tundra, so there's still a couple more chances for snowstorms. So we just don't plant until May. It's like we know this is the planting season. Well, this is our planting season. This is our time to be very particular about the seeds that we're planting, that we're not just filling all the space with stuff we're not going to be able to take care of. We want to really take the things that are of the utmost importance to us right now and plant those seeds and to be able to focus on those, right? Hey, Nikki, welcome. Good evening. So awesome to have you. So I'm just wrapping up with my description of the eclipse and what has been going on. But one of the things that I want to say too is some of the things, no worries, it's always perfect timing. We're going to hop into meditation soon. So get some water, get comfy, find a place that you can hopefully just relax for a little bit. And you can come back to any of the descriptions, but you probably got lots of it on Wednesday anyways. But some of the things that we should be sort of focusing on right now, and some of the things that we can allow ourselves to surrender to a little bit. Oh, that was lots of driving today. I'm glad that you made it home. Hopefully you've made it home. Um, is what we're really scared of. So I want you to think of what terrifies you a little bit. What has been sort of like, I'm just so scared to, um, like tonight, I was so scared to put this out to the public because I wasn't sure what was gonna, it was probably exactly what I should have done was put it out to the public because so many people need to hear it, but I just felt safer about it. Maybe containing your bubble a little bit. We might have to just stay in in a zone over the next week or so that you're not out and about like crazy, especially like today, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's almost like this sort of like little, while everything is kind of aligning, while the body, mind, and soul are coming together here to really allow us to receive these messages. Tuesdays kind of like a integrate these messages, listen to them, take care of yourself, stay grounded. But the energy is really kind of increasing. We're going to have almost like a surge or like a power surge of energy where we're just like, yeah, I can't, okay, I'm going to start this and I'm going to start this and I'm going to start this. And we may end up wanting to take it all on at once rather than kind of really fine tuning and picking those things that are really important to us. So it's kind of like give yourself that space on Tuesday to take in the information, be that sort of that receiver to the energy that you're putting out, because we're going to do this in the meditation, just sort of be cognizant and conscious of the energy that we're putting out, what it is that we do really want to bring in. Because sometimes for big super new moons and eclipses like this, we almost say don't do ritual kind of thing. But we're in fire with Aries, right? So I really like doing a lot of the burning type rituals with this. So if you guys are called to after this, you can do a little bit of writing of what you saw in that new life room that we're going to go into in the meditation. You can take some of those things that you see because it's going to be a little bit like land of plenty. I do suggest doing meditation. That's a great question. I do suggest doing meditation because we are really asking and receiving right now, really surrendering. The types of meditation that you do can be, it doesn't have to be a big, huge purging when I like sort of gearing them around this time more to really doing like land of plenty or the innocence meditation, really kind of going into those types of places where um it's like you're just asking for that information to come through because it really will. And you might find Tuesday to be a day, because of that energy surge sort of after the eclipse, that you might find sleeping to be kind of light. So support yourself with that, knowing that weather forecast for Tuesday, Wednesday, it might be a little bit tougher to sleep. So really kind of, don't stimulate yourself too much. Use this as the new life room. Use Tuesday, Wednesday as kind of like your reset point. Like, do things a little differently, shake up your routine a bit. Don't just let life kind of get carried away. Do the things that you sort of feel called to, like shutting off your phone or putting it on do not disturb and not answering any calls, or, do a little extra meditation, whatever you're guided to. Do a little somatic movement. Don't forget, we release that energy from our bodies, right? We release it from the denseness can finally move through our body. So it's a beautiful thing. So if you kind of let yourself, hey, Julie, welcome. It's awesome to see you. So if you let yourself surrender a little bit for Tuesday, Wednesday, you find yourself scrolling still at night, or like we call it doom scrolling sometimes, especially if our dopamine's a little bit low, to take that opportunity to stop yourself and use, I don't know, micro learning, or use, something on a higher frequency, something that is actually feeding your soul a little bit, that just feels good. Or maybe it's just actual frequencies that you're listening to, or just switch it up a bit. Really utilize these messages, this divine guidance, this intuition that's coming in saying, this isn't even doing anything for you. Why are you still doing this? Go, yeah, right. Like, have this conversation. I am going to go get a glass of water. I am going to go do 5 minutes of stretching. I am going to go do, there's almost anything is better than just sitting and kind of staying stuck in some of those patterns. And I say scrolling because a lot of us were noticing, especially with the coaches that I work with there, we were all like, I was watching Star Trek for hours. I was watching Netflix for hours. I was watching like Gordon Ramsay chef stuff for hours. Like, it was just so silly. And it was just like the brain wanting to shut off. But that was not what the brain actually needed. The brain needed to stretch. The brain needed some water. The brain needed. So I'm really excited about this week and just kind of really allowing myself to surrender, to really even notice the things that you're really trying hard to control. Like, what's really driving you nuts right now? What are you trying so hard to control? What if you were to just surrender to that? Oof, I just got goosebumps from top to bottom. What if you were just to say, you know what? It's out of my control. The universe has it. There's a divine plan. What if you were to just be able to actually say that about something that's been really, like, what if there was this divine plan that, because we've been so feeding this energy into it, like, there's got to be some, think about the vibration, the actual frequency we've been feeding into that thing. And what if we were just to surrender it? What if we were to just shift that energy around it? Like, the universe has a divine plan for me, right? Really allow yourself to feel into that. So we'll go into that in the meditation right away. Um, so much that I want to say, just because we do have Mercury retrograde. I don't want you to be scared of Mercury retrograde, because it's a beautiful time to be able to heal some relationships. It's a beautiful time to be able to slow down enough that we can respond properly rather than react. And really, that's kind of what an indication of, is slowing down. Take a breath, take a beat before you react. Maybe have a little laugh at yourself about how you were going to react, or what that first feeling was. Or if it's anger that's coming up, talk to that anger a little bit. Feel it in your body. Ask it to show you where it is in your body. Even, say, like, where am I holding that right now? We're doing a lot of solar plexus work right now. Like, stuff is just moving through solar plexus, third eye, and crown chakra. And so you might be really kind of feeling things moving around in those areas, gurgling around, needing some healing in those areas. A lot of people have been saying even stomach issues. They've been feeling headachy. They've been feeling achy in the joints. Like, it's been quite profound with this sort of push coming through. I've had a lot of people asking me like a lot of really interesting questions about this eclipse because there's so much floating around in the ethers about the doom and gloom of like people are worried that the power is going to go out for 3 days. It's almost like being at the year from 1999 to 2000 when it was that shift and it's like this button was going to be pushed and everyone was sort of panicking about the way things were. Well, this is kind of happening with this eclipse, but it's in a good way, and it's a balancing, it's a literal shift where people are going to be able to actually really make these changes. And as we know, when one soul does this on a collective, it becomes sort of easier for everybody. So the amount of people that know about this eclipse and that are sort of like manifesting towards this eclipse and that are sort of having some excitement and some fun around this eclipse and this energy that's going into it is, I think, what we're all feeling as well, because we do feel it on a collective basis for sure, right? So do do meditate, do get your crystals out, do a little bit of a writing thing. So I was saying after this, if you feel called, write some of the things down that you see in the land of plenty, some of the things that you really want to create, some of the things that you're really ready for, and write those down. Write down three or four of them and then burn them. Give it to the universe. Stop worrying about it and hand it over. Jesus, take the wheel, like hand it over, give it some fire, give it some fire energy. Let this eclipse do what it's supposed to do. Let it help us balance out. Let it help us bring the physical up to the soul, right? To allow the denseness of this life that we took on to become as light as our soul, as light as our soul's journey. And I think that'll be really fun as well as helpful. Get out, make it like an earth mandala, set those intentions. Think when you're meditating, think about planting those seeds. Think about being kind of specific, what it is, even start kind of thinking right now before we jump into meditation about three or four things that you're just ready to bring into your life. Maybe it's making money while you sleep. Maybe it's, um, maybe it's new relationships. Um maybe it's just feeling healthy, wealthy, and wise, like I was talking about. Maybe it's our health. Maybe we're ready to just start understanding that this body that we chose when we came down here, this life that we chose, was literally all in preparation for this moment right now, where we get to make these choices moving forward into what we really want. This individuation process. That's really what this is. This is that major part of the hero's journey. And this is why a lot of people are being called to write books right now. They're feeling that they want to write a book. They're ready to write a book. That's even becoming a lot of coaching programs. So like, we're going to help you write a book. It's because this actually allows you to dive into your own individuation process as well. So, um, in leading up to it, making sure that you are literally setting intentions. This isn't so much about letting go. That's going to happen in a couple weeks when Mercury retrograde is ending and we have a full moon near the end of the month. That is going to be, we are going to see the rest of those things that we need to let go to really help us create. But getting into, the reason that people don't really want to, or sort of some astrological influences will say don't even do rituals and things like that around this full moon, is because it's so powerful. This is like setting the vibration, the tone for the next year and a half. And if you're really down on yourself, if you're really not being gentle on yourself, if you're not treating yourself with love and kindness, you didn't sort of get that self-worth upgrade that came in the last few weeks, and you still be kind of working towards that. So it's like allowing yourself to actually be kind, be gentle, go at it from the heart, um, explore it from love. If anything, even the story I was getting to with my girls, if they would literally both agree to just kind of allow the past to be the past and not assume that the other person's going to always do this or be like this, or just because this one thing happened once, or they perceive this to happen at one time, they could literally shift it by both choosing kindness, by both choosing love, by both choosing to make the best of the relationship that they have, because they have this amazing, they have sisters. I don't have sisters. Like, to be able to actually experience that to its fullest and to actually, give it a good try. I feel like at this age, it could be really powerful for them rather than just sort of, having them fight for the rest of the time, feeling like um, they are just not happy and not knowing why, right? So those things that come up, if especially if they're not feeling good, it's a great indicator to look at how could I just sort of say the past is the past, move forward with healthy boundaries, of course, not allowing yourself to be abused or used or any of those kind of things. But all of that is going to be shown to us as well. Anywhere we've been sort of overgiving or overextending ourselves, overdoing it is going to sort of be balanced out. It's just, we always say whether you want it or not, but we do want this balance. We just have to be open enough to receive it and not to try not to control it, and to allow some of these beautiful things that are going to be coming in to be coming in. And really, as of tomorrow, I mean, that this is the eclipse, this big moment that we've been kind of waiting for. So being in the highest vibration into this week and sort of knowing by the end of the week it'll be better to, you may want to, like, after the eclipse, Tuesday, Wednesday, want to call people and sort this out, balance this out, and da 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 da. I'm urging you to take a step back on Tuesday, even into Wednesday, just kind of let all this sort of balance out in the system, make sure you're meditating, make sure you're grounded. And then Thursday, Friday, it'll be much better to actually start communicating with people, to actually start reaching out and having these conversations, to start moving into the new life room really strongly, consistently, committing, following through. That Tuesday, Wednesday will sort of give you that opportunity to have that bit of a pause, and then kind of start making some of these things happen in a more organic way, rather than letting that energy of Tuesday, Wednesday wind us up and send us off and spinning, because it is Mercury retrograde. So this is where I'm like, just hold back, just sort of pay attention to what's coming in, allow the downloads Tuesday, Wednesday, allow the downloads tomorrow. It's going to be really cool. If there's anything that you need support with, anything that you need, answered, if there's any questions that you're having, tomorrow is such a beautiful time to actually really meditate upon that. And because it's happening across the world at slightly different times, it's not like that there's one exact moment during the eclipse that you're going to get all these downloads. It's just this whole energy about the next 24, 48 hours. It's going to be really open for messages to come in. So if you're just out there being busy and don't even know what's going on and aren't taking any time to sort of it can end up being kind of chaotic and feeling kind of crazy, but we know what's sort of going on, so we can not only talk other people off the ledge, but we can stay on the ledge ourselves and be able to not fall off. I think you guys will be well grounded going into this, and this meditation will help today too, because what we're going to do is simply set the intention of what it is that we are creating, and we're going to allow that balancing energy to sort of aid us in seeing anything that we're looking for. So we're going to open that up into the field tonight, and you guys can just kind of take that and move forward into this week. It's a great week for manifesting absolutely anything that you desire. So knowing that your frequency going out is exactly what's going to come back to you. So noticing when it's off, noticing when something's really pulling it off, and honoring that, being gentle, kind, loving to yourself. Think about it as a sister. Think about being the big sister, little sister, how you can, to yourself, right? How you can improve that relationship in whatever way, going at it from the heart. And if you're ever confused or having a hard time, put your hands literally on your heart. Take a nice deep breath, and slowing down your breathing just for a few breaths is going to help to balance out your nervous system, and you're going to be able to actually get to that space where you're listening, where you're receiving. It's receiving this beautiful downloadable wisdom. It's like this huge gift right now. And we can just let it go past with our eyes closed, right? So let's pop into that beautiful space of meditation before I get too carried away and keep you guys till midnight here. So thank you for attending so late. Thank you all for being here. And I'm just going to encourage you to get into a comfortable place. Have a sip of water if you want. Just connect with whatever you're sitting on, laying on. Just notice where your body is at this moment in time. And we're just going to slow our breath down a little bit and just drop our shoulders and close our eyes and gather into a beautiful intended space of creating the most beautiful garden and allowing the surrender of the balance of the body, mind, and soul in this beautiful eclipse energy, this powerful eclipse energy. And I want you to just imagine right now that your feet are touching the ground, almost as though you're a tree. You have roots that are coming down out of your feet, and they're reaching deep down into Mother Earth's crevices, into her core, into this beautiful energy of light, of crystal grids, of life force, just allowing those roots to tap in to Mother Earth's gorgeous grounding energy, just feeling that pull, feeling that draw, feeling that energy start to come up from the earth and into your body as it starts to lighten all of the cells, almost like this matrix of pathways that are running through your body, these old information systems. They're now able to get these slight upgrades from the earth as she's shifting. You guys have probably noticed all of the shifts going on, all these earthquakes, all these fires, all these, the earth is feeling this balancing coming out right now. And allow your body to just get the wisdom and the teachings from Mother Earth. And as you take a nice deep breath, just drawing in her beautiful power, her energy, her light codes, her information that she's ready to share with you. And feeling that moving up your body into all the dense areas, into all of the areas that have been holding on to inflammation or pain or anything that's been holding on to too much, allowing this pressure release valve to start to open up as you allow the earth to start to do her magic throughout your whole body, throughout all the energy lines, the radiant lines, through your aura. It's just going through, crystallizing, cleansing, clearing, transmuting, as it moves all the way up your legs into your root, right into your pelvis, and just feel into that area right now. Taking a nice deep breath and imagine directing it down into your root. Expanding your belly as you breathe in and relaxing your belly and your body as you breathe out. Feeling that energy release from your root chakra as any dense energy starts to be recoded by the light coming up through the earth. And feeling that light start to move up into the sacral plexus, where all those fears are, letting that sacral plexus get stirred, get recycled, get rejuvenated. The energy is starting to move in that sacral plexus where things have been rather stuck. To increase the energy, you can imagine it going in a clockwise motion. To decrease the energy, you can imagine it going into a counterclockwise motion. Feel that deep orange sunsetty color start to circle around your whole low back, your whole lower belly, doing some wound healing, some cleansing, some clearing, some neutralizing and transmuting. Just allowing anything that's no longer serving in those areas to be released down into the earth's beautiful grid where she knows what to do with that energy. And feeling that life, that love, that light start to come and move up into your solar plexus, right into the top of your belly, right underneath your rib cage. feeling that flutter, that stirring of your deepest, darkest desires, your wishes. What are some wishes? What are some things that you just wish you could create? What are some things that you would just love to experience more of in your life? Could be time management, could be balance, could be laughter, could be joy, could be peace, harmony, flow, ease. Just allow the words to come. And as that beautiful, beautiful yellow sunshine color starts to light you up from the inside, it's starting to burst up into your heart, starting to feel so full. You may even feel flutters up in your heart, up in your thymus as your shoulders go back and start to relax. As you tap into that beautiful solar energy that's coming up from above, you can start to feel the sun shining, starting to beam down right through your crown, your third eye, your throat, right into your heart. And as these two forces, the earth and the sun, work together, you feel your soul and your body start to come into alignment, like they're not on different paths anymore, like they're joining in union. Just feel a yes throughout your body as your heart chakra starts to open and expand. And you feel those flutters moving up into your throat, where you're starting to speak your truth. You're starting to feel your true, authentic self again. You're starting to create this individuation process on your own hero's journey. This is the point that you decided to truly treat yourself with love and kindness, feeling that in your heart and your throat as you allow that energy to start moving up into your face, into your skull. And it's almost like there's a light coming from behind your third eye, right in between your eyebrows, right in between your eyes. A slight pressure coming up into your forehead as you start to connect with all of the astrological power that's happening up above you. Imagining the three planets, the sun, the moon, and the earth, starting to come into alignment, just like all of your energy centers are, as your crown and your third eye start to open up a little bit more. I want you to imagine breathing in that energy, breathing it in from the top of your head, allowing it to come all the way through your head, your neck, your shoulders, your heart, your belly, and out your feet, almost like breath. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in that solar energy from above. And as you breathe out, imagine pushing it out through your feet, just allowing this beautiful column of light to start moving this energy completely and fully through your body. I want you to imagine now that you can see the moon, the earth, and the sun all come into this beautiful, special alignment in this starting over sign of Aries, feeling this energy start to recalculate and recalibrate your own energy. And imagine now that you can see the sun as the shadow starts to cast over it. And your body's cells, your body's atoms, everything about your body starts to turn into little light particles. And you're being drawn up, kind of like a slipstream that would be being drawn up through the Great Barrier Reef that the turtles get to just drift on, as though you're just being drawn and pulled as this beautiful dust. Imagine yourself turning into blue sparkles, and you're floating up. You're balancing, you're swirling. You're this beautiful pile of sparkles that is just floating up into this slipstream, being drawn into the balance, this vortex of energy that's drawing you right up to the sun and right behind the shadow. As the shadow crosses the sun where the dark meets the light, you are going to enter a new life room as this beautiful sparkly dust. Imagine now it's sucking you in and you're able to enter, almost like you have no way of stopping it. You're drawn by magnetic force right into that shadow of the sun. And as you reach there, you feel this almost it's a feeling. You can't quite put your finger on it. Almost like a pop, almost like coming through a door, almost like coming home into this safe space, into this beautiful space that you've been waiting to see. All of the light, all of the stories of everything you've been ready to create, your land of plenty, everything that you can possibly imagine, all possibilities. The room where everything was just so easy once you let go. And I want you to imagine now what life would be like in this beautiful new life room. Where is this new life room going as everything gets balanced? Body, mind, soul, all on the same mission, all sparkly dust floating into this room and able to see in a way you've never seen before. What's really important to you in this new life room? What really matters at the end of the day? Is it being useful at work? Is it your family? Is it certain people? What's really important to you in here? What are you ready to see that really lights you up, that really means the world to you? What does your body look like in this new life room as everything is feeling good when you've chosen to let go of all old injuries? You've chosen to let go of all old patterns and past ways of treating yourself. You're ready to allow your soul and your body to be one and the same. What does it feel like to have nothing inflamed, to feel good, to have your joints feel great in the morning, to feel like you could move, to feel like you could do anything? How does it feel to just feel as though you can do anything? Like you're swimming with no pain, just feeling your body moving. What does it feel like to just feel your body moving in such a free way with no pain, having all the strength, not feeling weak or tired, not feeling like you have to stop? What does it feel like to just keep going, to have all that energy? Really feel into that. What does it feel like to give yourself the proper nutrition? Who knows what that is? Maybe it's a hormone balance. Maybe it's a carnivore diet. Maybe it's a vegetarian. Maybe it's fasting. Maybe it's cleansing. What feels good for you? Sustainable, committed, nothing crazy that you have to do or have to spend a lot of money on. What could you do right now that would just feel so good in nourishing your body? What feels good to you about career? Imagine this land of plenty having all the possibilities. Is it just working a couple days a week? Is it being able to actually have time, life balance, work-life balance? What's really important to you? You may even know the hours you want to work. You may know the days you want to work. You may know what you want to do. You may know that you don't want to do anything anymore. You may want to make money while you sleep. You may want to have something that can just generate income whenever you're needing it, just on a passive basis, something you can set up. Feels easy and flowing. What feels good to you? Are you a person that loves to control things, make a difference? You have such strengths, such unique talents, so special. What really is important to you at the end of the day? Feeling good, feeling balanced, feeling emotionally stable, feeling like you've got it. Being able to spend most of your day smiling and laughing and feeling like, I got this. Feeling like you know you've done the work, and feel right into that right now, knowing that you've been doing the work, you've been laying the groundwork. You've been ready to plant seeds. And imagine giving yourself 3 seeds that you could truly plant and nourish and know that you could nurture right till harvest in a way that you never have before. What are 3 things that you're ready to just see in this land of plenty, ready to bring into your life? What do you see around your health? What do you see around your relationships? How much space are you making for that in your life? What does this new life room look like? Behind this shadow, this once in a lifetime opportunity to see the things that you've been ready to see. What does it look like back there? This new life room that you can now walk into. It's been opened. This door is open and ready for you to allow your body, mind, and soul to become one, to stop fighting each other, to stop feeling separated from each other. I want you to know that you can come into this new life room at any point and you can stay there. If you were going to stay there, how could you nurture yourself to stay in that room? Ask the superconscious right now for an action step that'll just bring you more in alignment with where you're meant to be, with where these timelines have been bringing you. And we're going to choose to stay in this new life room, in this beautiful place of balance, behind the sun, behind the moon, in a space that's never been seen before. This special room just for you to go and literally calibrate into balance at any point that you need. The surrender room. And when you're ready, I want you to just take a few nice, deep receiving breaths, just feeling this energy float through your body, staying in this misty state, staying in this space of true alignment with what it is that you're really ready to create, and getting more clarity around that. And when you're ready, you can come on back into your body. And the beautiful thing is that there's nothing new about this. We know exactly what to do. We know that simply getting into a state of gratitude, getting into a state of love is going to be exactly where we need to be to create exactly what it is that we want to create. And if we're really not feeling that, if we're really feeling like we're not able to get into that state, that's often something that we can look at, that we can explore a little bit, that we can get some help in understanding where we might be inhibiting our growth, where we may be able to make just a small change to be able to really carry that forward. And still feel some stuff around the solar plexus, so I'm just kind of going and clearing that, some of those deep wishes and desires. I can even feel there's some beliefs still that are sort of holding some of those back, some of those beliefs. And this is the beautiful thing, is over the next couple weeks, you'll be able to see very clearly what it is that you're ready to let go of. But I think the most beautiful thing is that just doing this work and allowing yourself to get into these states of creation, these states of higher vibration. If we're just to simply notice, am I in a lower vibration about this? Am I in victim about this? Am I feeling, sort of that victim feeling? I'm not making change because I've been too traumatized, or these stories that I'm telling, I'm too messed up, or whatever it is. This is where we really get to understand that that is the past. That is a story. We're not choosing to tell that anymore. We could say we can't do it because we're too traumatized, because we can't, because we have this or that, or because we have, low this or that. We can't do it. Or we could get into solution mode and start, using that as, oh, maybe I need to increase my dopamine. Well, I know how to do that. I could teach a class on that. I'm really exhausted in the mornings. Maybe I'm low dopamine. There's ways we can adjust that. Sometimes we're so quick to want, to fix something or have someone fix it for us or take this or that or this information. It's inside of us. It's just a matter of us actually taking that time to make sure that we make ourselves the priority. And this is the opportunity to do that. This is what this eclipse is for. It's to allow you to really put yourself first, to really be a little bit selfish, use this Aries energy, make the plans, be proud of yourself, be a leader, step into this role. This is what you're meant for. This is why you're here. And I'm happy to help you create as much of this satisfaction and happiness as we can. So I'm hoping that was a good place to go for you guys. Step into that room, even when the eclipse is going on tomorrow. Imagine as you, if and when you are able to see that eclipse, be careful looking at the sun, obviously, but do get outside if you can and enjoy the surges and the stuff you'll be feeling in your body. A lot of people will be feeling the heart chakra kind of opening, the solar plexus opening. You might feel little taps and trickles and tickles. Or the thymus right here, you might feel a little flutter. A lot of people think they are having heart palpitations, but it's actually just the thymus gland connecting with the earth's heartbeat. That Schumann resonance has been off the charts. It's been shooting up over 75, 80, 85. Usually it sits around 7 or 8. So that's a lot of the reason for lack of sleep and stuff last week. And know that the dreams again are going to be a little bit nutty. So enjoy those. And I am going to go ahead and sign off of Facebook. I want to thank you guys all so much for being here tonight. I love